I want to thank everybody for coming out today. We are going to discuss what your consoles are going to be named for the future. Nintendo, why don't you kick us off? All right, so since we're Nintendo, our first US console is going to be called the Nintendo Entertainment System, or just NES for short. All right, so far making a lot of sense here. All right, and then next we'll come out with a Super NES version because it'll be super and superior to the original. Okay. All right, and then going forward, I think we'll do the Nintendo 64, the GameCube, then the Wii. Wait. Can you go back a minute? You said Nintendo 64, but I'm losing. What happened to Nintendo's 3 through 63? Yeah, we're going to call it Nintendo 64 because it uses 64-bit technology. It'll be revolutionary at the time. And then the GameCube is going to be a game console of a cube. And then the Wii will be... Oh, yeah, I think I got it. So you're going to try to be super creative and innovative. So you're going to have weird designs and weird titles that don't make any sense. Cool. Sony, you're up. Ours is going to be pretty easy. It's called a PlayStation. All right. Seems very straight to the point. I'm almost afraid to ask what the next ones are. Yeah, no creative issues here. Just PlayStation. Then PlayStation 2, and 3, 4, 5, and so on. Just keep it simple, right? Oh, that is pretty simple. I'm surprised you didn't throw in like a PlayStation 247 like Nintendo did over there. All right, Microsoft. Hit me with it. All right, to start, we're going to put a giant X on a box. It's going to be awesome. Wait, what? It's an X on a box. That's right. It's going to be called the Xbox. You can spell it forwards and you can spell it backwards. Xbox. Box. X. Box. Microsoft, are you drunk? What? No. Me? No. Okay, I think I'm starting to see where the creative ideas are coming from. What's after the Xbox? Well, we're going to be super innovative. So we're going to take the original box and flip it on its head. And we're going to be called the 360. 360? I think you mean a 180. If you're doing a 360, you're just going to come back around to the Xbox One. Xbox One. That's what we're going to call the next one. That doesn't make any sense. None of this makes any sense. Other than Sony, no one's taking this seriously. Wait, what about me? Oh, Sega. Sorry. I didn't see you there. Didn't see me? I've literally been standing between Nintendo and Xbox the entire time. Sega! As you can see, I've been a little bit distracted. So what do you got for us? All right. So first, we're going to hit the US market with the Master System. Master System, huh? That seems a little bit aggressive, don't you think? Probably, but we got to keep up with Nintendo. How does that end up working out for you? Rude. Next, we'll come out with the Genesis. Genesis. Doesn't that mean the creation of something? Like, really, shouldn't that be your first console? And on the seventh day, God said, "Let there be Sega." Xbox, sit this one out. Okay. I didn't mean literally. Anyway, we'll have add-ons to that, like the 32X, which will increase the graphics. We'll also have the Sega CD. And then we'll get into our disc market by launching the Sega Saturn. How does that end up working out? Yeah, actually, we decided to focus our efforts on the Dreamcast, and that's actually going to compete with the rest of these guys. Everyone loves competition. Then we're going to cease all of our console operations and focus pretty much on software. And then we'll just license the games to these guys, and they can sell them. Well, that went south really fast. At the end, we'll really just be known for having Sonic. But hey, we'll actually make a ton of money by making live-action movies of him. Wait. A live-action Hedgehog movie? People are going to hate that idea. Yeah, they do at first, but we just keep making them, and they keep watching them, so why not? Looks like we found your happy ending. Today's discussion, handheld systems. People love to play your games at home, but what about on the go? Hey, has anybody seen Xbox? He said he's going to take a nap and not to wake him up until 2025. Then he mentioned something about just taking his software and slapping it on someone else's console. Right. Okay, Nintendo, why don't you get us started? All right, we're going to start with the Junior NES style system that plays games. So we're going to call it the Game Boy. Game Boy? Okay, it's the 80s, so I guess that name works. Question, will it play games in color? Not at first, but future versions will. Honestly, the price would be too high if we started in color. But then we'll make an advanced version of the Game Boy, which we will creatively call Game Boy Advance. Very creative. Honestly, Sony, I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or if you're genuinely just trying to steal my strategy. Then we'll make the DS, which stands for dual screen, because, well, it'll have two screens. You know, I gave you a hard time about naming your consoles, but this actually seems pretty straightforward. Then we'll have a 3DS. Wait, 3 dual screens? No. Still the dual screens, but it'll have 3D visuals. And then last, we'll create the Switch, which is technically a console. But it can be connected to a TV, or you can take it on the go. As in, you can switch how you play. Got it. Sega, what about you? All right, so we're going to start with the Game Gear. It sounds very similar to the Game Boy, but ours is going to be in full color. Wow, that must sell very well. Not in the long run. It eats up batteries, and Nintendo hogs all the third-party developers, so we don't get as many games as they do for the Game Boy. But we come back with the Sega Nomad. Nomad meaning it doesn't have a permanent home. Pretty smart, huh? Clever. See, that's what I'm talking about. Finally, someone's creative. All right, Sony, are you going to disappoint me here? Of course not. So we're going to start with the PlayStation Portable. Well, of course you are. Because it's a portable PlayStation. But next we'll have the PS Vita, and Vita is Italian for life. We want the players to not just use it for games, but also for videos and social connectivity. Finally, you're getting somewhere. And then we'll have the PlayStation Portal, which lets you play your PS5 on a handheld device as long as you're connected to your home internet. So, like the Switch? No, this is in addition to the PS5, so you're gonna have to purchase both. Seems like a cash grab, but at least the name's creative. Honestly, you guys did much better this round, aside from Xbox.
Sony, no.
Today we're going to talk about franchise games and series. What do you think your most popular game or character will be? Ooh! I want to go first! All right, Xbox, all right. What do you have? Halo. Everybody knows Master Chief. Everyone knows the Halo series. And I'm not saying we started online gaming, but Halo 2 and Xbox Live clearly launched that for consoles. He does make a very good point. Wait a minute. Halo's only been around for like 25 years. We have Mario. And he's been an icon for almost 40 years and is recognized by all ages. Wait a minute. If you're going that route, we have Sonic. And Sonic's been around for almost 35 years. It's not as long as Mario, but it's good enough to be adopted on Xbox, Sony, and Nintendo. You can only play Mario on Nintendo. Alright, I'm tired of you guys leaving me out of these discussions.
The ancient one.
Pac-Man existed before many of your consoles were even a thought of a concept. We came out in 1980. And Pac-Man is so popular, it is on every single one of your consoles. I really feel like this is a good way to introduce Atari. Does anybody care what I have? No. Shut up, Xbox. Okay, our best franchise is going to be Gran Turismo. Really? Your best franchise is just racing cars? No unique, memorable character or anything? You really want the commenters to come after you on this one. Besides, you said best exclusive franchise. I mean, we'll have Last of Us and we'll have God of War. But the best exclusive franchise is gonna be Gran Turismo. Don't get me wrong, we'll make money with Grand Theft Auto, but that's on Xbox and now it's on Nintendo Switch. And we also have Final Fantasy, but that's not exclusive to us. It actually started on Nintendo. All right. I think we've heard from everyone now. Now it's time for the viewers to decide. Who do you think has the best franchise or character? Let us know in the comments. All right, today's meeting, we're gonna talk about controller layouts. Future games are gonna be getting complicated, so I'm eager to see what designs you're coming up with. All right, so with the SNES, we're going to introduce the front 4-button layout, YXAB. Now we're going to get a little nuts, and when it comes to the Nintendo 64 and the GameCube, we're going to add a lot more buttons, and we're going to move them all around the controller, but eventually the front 4-button layout will come back with the Switch. Front 4-button layout, I like that. I do see that there's more buttons on the top and eventually the back, but I do like this front 4-button layout. Sony, what about you? So we're also going to do the 4-button layout, but we're going to use shapes instead of letters. So we're going to do triangle, circle, square, and X. But we're going to put the X on the bottom, and that way it doesn't look like we're copying Nintendo. Okay, it seems very similar, but I'll give you the shapes versus letters difference. Hey Sega, are you playing today? Yeah, I'm still here. Okay, also doing 4 buttons, and we are going to do letters, but we're going to do X, Y, A, B. Okay, seems like you're copying. No! Different layout. And we're going to add a left thumbstick. So there. Okay. Take it easy, bro. Just want to say that our PS2 controller is going to have thumbsticks on the left and right, but we're actually going to put them in the middle. See? The thumbstick idea was good enough for Sony to steal. All right. Xbox, can you close this out? Huh? Yeah, we're just going to steal Sega's thing, change the color of the buttons, and, I don't know, throw in an extra thumbstick. Hey! Oh, and we'll have the thumbsticks kind of like be off center, so that way it doesn't look like Sony's either. He can't do that. Tell him he can't do that. Dude, what do you care? Your business is going to go bankrupt before we even release, so it's not like anyone's going to notice. Ouch. I don't think you should be drunk at these things anymore. Why not? I'm having a blast.